Welcome to another lesson here on area model multiplication, to show the equivalence of two fractions. In the top half here on one, it says the shaded fractions have been decomposed into smaller units. They've just been broken down into smaller units. Express the equivalent fractions in a number sentence using multiplication. The first one has been done for you. So what they have done here is they have taken their original 2/3 and they have broken it down, decomposed it into smaller units. So instead of leaving it at 2/3, we've broken it up into 4/6. What was the multiplication that we did there? Since the area didn't change, but the amount of squares that it took to cover the area changed, we also needed to change the amount of squares that are required to fill in the area. So we doubled it. We went from 3 times 2 is 6. What we do at the bottom, we have to also do at the top. 2 times 2 is 4. So our new fraction through multiplication is 4 times 6. On the back side of this paper, we will see why we have been practicing this so much. Over here on B, we started out, our fraction was 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 3 of those 4 shaded in. Now our fraction is 2 times 3 is 6 twelfths. The equivalent fraction is, that's 6/8. Sorry, that's what I get for trying to talk and write at the same time. 6/8. So our equivalent fraction is 3/4 times 2 over 2 equals 6/8. We discussed today during class why we're multiplying 2 over 2, because that is the same as saying 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we're not changing the amount that's being covered. We're just changing the amount of pieces it's decomposed into. So if we decompose it by 2, if we break it down by 2, we're also going to have to do the same thing to our numerator, the amount of pieces that were shaded. So if we keep the fraction as an equal, as a 1, then it's unlimited how many equivalent problems there are, how many equivalent fractions there are in these lesson sets. This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 are shaded, so our fraction is 4/5. Now we've broken them up. We now have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. We know we have 15. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. We have 12/15 that are now shaded. That means that our equivalent fraction, 4/5 times what fraction equals 12/15. We can look at 5. Work that way first. 5, 10, 15. We did that 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. So we tripled the amount of surface area. I'll leave D for you to do as well at home. Down here in 2, it says decompose both shaded fractions into twelfths. That means we'll need 12 equal spaces. Express the equivalent fractions in a number sentence using multiplication. I'll do the first one for us here. We started out with 3/6. When we divided that and decomposed it into twelfths, we now have 6/12. Our multiplication sentence, 3/6 times 2 over 2 equals 6/12. And I'll leave you H or B there to do at home as well. On the back side, we have area models, drawn area models to prove. So all we're doing here is just the opposite. We're having to draw, we're filling it in, we're decomposing it. It says just draw an area model that proves it. There we are right there. 1/3 times 2 over 2 equals 2/6. And then we'll be able to do B, C, and D there. E, let's see here, 4. Use multiplication to create an equivalent fraction for each fraction below. Unlimited times 2, 4, 6. You can do 2/3 times 3 over 3 over 4 over 4 over 5 over 5. However the student wants to do it, do it. Fine. It's great, just as long as they are multiplying with a like numerator and denominator, which keeps it at 1. That's the important thing. That way you are not changing the amount of surface area that is being covered. On the bottom, number 5, determine which of the following are true number sentences. Correct those that are false by changing the right-hand side of the number sentence. So if we look at this, we'll look at 3 and 9. 3, 6, 9, that is multiple. Multiplied it by 3. So 2 times, we have 3 times 3 is 9. 3 at the top, 2 times 3 does not equal 4. That equals 6. So the equivalent fraction is 6/9. We'll do the same for B, C, and D. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at the school. You can also go to damon.wikispaces.com, join my blog space, leave any comments there, and I will return your replies as soon as possible. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.